500 million messages per day. That means that per month, they're sending 15 billion messages through email, SMS, and apps. And it comes down to one thing, and this is what's so important. If people want your messages, you can send as much volume as you want. But so I just want to dive into this really quickly. I know because of all the gold that is here, I can go through this all day long. I love this stuff, right? But so let me just go through a little bit about their marketing so you guys can understand like how they generate all their revenue. And here's the deal, right? They send about 500 million messages per day. That means that per month, they're sending 15 billion messages through email, SMS, and apps. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like all of us are like sending messages and trying to get inbox, right? And it comes down to one thing. And this is what's so important. If people want your messages, you can send as much volume as you want, right? The problem is when you're sending crap, you're sending things that aren't relevant and people don't want it, right? And I'm sure they run into all these things like they talk about. But bottom line is through emails, mobile notifications, app inbox notifications, they're sending millions and millions and millions. They're segmenting by the behaviors of their customers. They're sending emails like based off of like various events, like if somebody purchases, if they're doing like a password reset, shipping, voucher expires reminders, and like 100 other different use cases. But bottom line is it's all for some reason. There's a whole team here figuring all that out based off the behaviors of what's taking place. The verticals that we talked about, health and beauty, wellness, food and drink, goods, things to do, travel, coupons, and more. And 4 types of applications that they're using. The platforms are through desktop, mobile web, and then iOS and Android. Those are the 4 platforms. They're all very different, right? So it's, sending email through desktop, mobile, right? Push notifications in mobile, Android, iOS. Follow me? Apps, again, iOS and Android. And then they're sending notifications on their phones, right? They're doing it all based off of different things. But bottom line is it's all event-driven marketing campaigns. It's all around different things that you're doing. If you viewed a deal, if a price dropped on a deal, if you've been searching deals, they're trying to make things relevant. And the most important things that you could think about for your marketing is number 1, timing. The time of when you send these emails is so very important. Okay. So few things that you could look at from timing. One is just based on where they are, what time zone they live in, right? They work with 15 different countries, right? I don't know who you're targeting to and where, but you got to think about that because that's powerful. And number 2 is with where they are and what they're doing. So if you can figure out where they are, you can send notifications to them by location, right? Like you're passing, it's a car dealership, right? And we identify you're in the market for a car, and then we identify you're local to a certain dealership. We can send a notification to you explaining that here's a deal for some cars. If 5 cars go in the next month, we're giving off $25,000. Whoa, that's huge. I'm interested in that, right? Whoa, they go check it out, right? They walk in right there. All of a sudden they're communicating with these people, and who knows? It could also be based off of like if somebody opens, clicks, reads. All of these things are so important. The most important things when you're in these businesses that you're pushing out messages is open rate, click rate, and purchase rate, right? And you can create all kinds of different messages around all 3 of those things. So you want to personalize the message. Here's one thing that a study revealed that they said is one of the most important things that impacts the business metrics. And the study says that if you personalize your messaging, name, what city you're in, anything, right? They're saying that the open rates go up by 26% and the overall revenue goes up by almost 800%. I'll say that again, 800% by personalizing the messaging, right? By customizing. That's why, like Server Detective, we're segmenting the data. We're learning about who they are, all the things that they like and don't like. They're learning about themselves, but they're also giving us information now that we can use to customize our messaging, to personalize the messaging, to make it relevant to them, make them feel like they've been heard and that we understand them, right? We can empathize with them, and then we can personalize a message to them. And that's why the conversion rates go up 800%. Boom. Crazy. So here you go. Here's the 17 things that they said in this blog post that I read that they said is the most important thing for any of their push pipeline programs. And I'm going to go through these quickly just so that you can hear it, and then we're going to be done. Okay. So number one is deliver all email notifications within 2 hours of the scheduled time, because the campaigns are strategically targeted for that duration. So they know the chances of opening, clicking, and purchasing are higher during this window. So they need to get those messages out within that window. They also, so important that you need to deliver the right content, right? They have these relevant set of deals for different target markets to the right audience, to the right target market, right? So what they're doing is they're segmenting by their behavior, what they're doing, where people are purchasing certain things, they're starting to learn about who they are, what they like, what they're about. Right. And once they learn about their behaviors, their buying behaviors, now they can start to create some targeted messages with relevant offers from what they've purchased that they know they've already purchased on, that they're interested in. Right. So it's killer. Use the right look and feel for any email, then build out the profile of their subscribers so they know what kind of marketing messages can be delivered. Again, we were talking about it earlier, but local area location, detect the moving users and target them with deals in that vicinity. So the idea is that you give a message and a deal to somebody in certain location. So if you're able to identify where they are on their mobile phone with location services, you can serve relevant deals with that in the moment, right? It's all about intent, right, guys? It's all about intent. Google, when people search, that's why it's the best traffic on the internet is Google and Bing and AOL and Yahoo, whatever that search function is. People are out there searching they have intent, the highest intent possible. You have to be able to handle sudden spikes in traffic. That's another big thing for them. So when you start to scale your business, you got to be prepared for being able to handle if you're killing it, if things are working and people are just clicking away like crazy. You got to be prepared for that. Personalize the messages for audiences, like we said. And if you want, you need to have your team personalize it and make sure that someone's paying attention to that so it doesn't get screwed up. If somebody's not clicking or engaging, you should dormant that user. Perhaps you try to re-engage them with less frequent emails and messages. Maybe once a month you send something to try to get them to re-engage, right? If they have 24 million active users, they might have a few billion emails in their database, but only 24 million are active, right? So can they get other people to re-engage? And that's by trying to send them something relevant that's useful for them. If they can, boom, it's added to the actives, and then they can start to make money. And then they fall back into all these different sequences of where they fall within the different segmentation. Suppression files. Consider blocking certain users from certain messages, right? So what I mean by suppression files is ultimately a suppression file means don't mail. So you use that to scrub against the mailing list. So if you have a mailing list where you're mailing to 1 million people, but then you're like, you know what, 250,000 of these people, it's not going to be relevant for them. Let's use that as a suppression file to scrub against 1 million. And then it only sends to 750,000. Automate your data-driven marketing campaigns so that it can get scheduled in large numbers. Deals sent in email or mobile notifications should be an active and non-sold out deal. So this is for their business, right? Like you guys may not have to worry about this, but ultimately, if something hits cap, they need to prepare for that and then make a change, some audible, right? If they hit cap and there's no more deals available for that, then they have to on the run be able to change that for all the other people that are getting these messages. Otherwise, it's not relevant. So there's a lot of ways they can either do it on the run if they have a system to do it, or they message, hey, this deal's not offered to you anymore because it's gone. But here's other offers that may be interested to you. Ability to constantly update both rested users as well as users that are trying to get off your list. These are your unsubscribes. It's so important if you're in this business where you're pushing messages to people, you have to have an unsubscribe file. You have to give people the ability to opt out, right? The way you get people to come in is you get them to opt in saying, yes, I'm interested in receiving your messaging. But at any point in time, if they're like, this is baloney, I don't want this anymore, you have to have all kinds of ways to allow these people to opt out. Let them write a letter, click on something where they can go and unsubscribe. And then you need to then have somebody managing this list that's updated at least weekly, daily if you can, that then you use to suppress against any messaging that you're doing so that person doesn't receive any messages anymore. It's really important, right? It's all about canned spam. You can get in big trouble if you don't understand that. So you guys, if you're going to start getting involved with this push marketing, you want to get people to opt in and give you permission. And you want to be able to understand how unsubscribes work and how you can suppress against your list so you avoid any issues and complaints and things like that that can take down your business, right? You have to be canned spam compliant. Look it up. You can see. It'll explain to you. You got to be able to support all kinds of clients who want different notifications from different platforms, right? It's a big deal. These guys are a huge company. So if you're working on different platforms, right? Mobile, email, apps, you got to be able to manage all of that internally. A message which is delayed for them. Okay. So let's say they have a 2-hour time span where they say they want to mail this offer and they throttle the messages. Let's say there's 20 million people that they're trying to send to. When you throttle, which means you say send X amount every 5 minutes, right? So it's like a little bit at a time to try to get to that 20 million. But if it gets delayed, what they do is they don't continue to mail it. They stop it and drop it. So if they can only deliver 16 million out of the 20 million, those 4 million people that are not going to get that message because it's not going to work. It's going to be a waste, right? They're going to lose money. It's going to be a bad experience. So they drop it. And mobile notifications never be delivered beyond a certain day. Various platforms should not impact each other. Email campaigns should not result in the delay of any mobile push campaigns. So what they're saying is like, if you're sending messages through those 3 platforms, email, mobile, apps, and email gets delayed, that doesn't mean you stop the mobile and the app and the app notifications. Those go out just as planned and you miss the email side. Their last thing they say, which is anybody that's in this business should know this, but be able to handle your bounces, your hard and soft bounces that waste resources and impact the reputation of your company with the ISPs. Hard bounces and soft bounces are bad emails, bad phone numbers, right? When you're sending and that's happening, the ISPs look at that very negatively. And if you do that and you start sending to these bogus emails, then your reputation can get hurt and then you may lose delivery altogether. So those are the 17 things that Groupon in this blog post is telling you what to look out for. That's the most important thing for their pipeline for push marketing strategy. So guys, with that said, I hope this was useful. Dove into this business a little bit, did some numbers, gave you some insight on what they're saying they're doing and how they're able to send 180 trillion push marketing messages a year. Wow, that's insane. Huge business. Really, really impressive. But so that's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, listen, all this is here. You want to sell your business for 36 million? Go follow this model. Watch this 10 times from what we were talking about earlier and sell your company for 5X, 36 million, and then, buy me a cup of coffee. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all of you that are subscribed. I thank you. We passed 1,000 subscribers in YouTube, which is cool because it's all organic. I get a lot of messages from that. I love YouTube. I think it's the most powerful medium on the internet, followed by a podcast. So that's why this is for both. So if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and, give me a thumbs up if you like it. Helps out. Really appreciate it. If you're listening to this on my podcast, subscribe, turn on your notifications on both so you can get any new episodes as we publish them. Leave a review. That would be great. It's really helpful. And share this with anybody you think may be interested. Any entrepreneur that you think can get some value out of this, I would appreciate it. I'm here. My mission is to just make an impact on other people's lives with things that I've learned over the years in my business ventures. And yeah, make a difference. And it's fun. And it gives me purpose. And I love it. Subscribe to all of them. And if you want to text me, you can join my text community, 917-636-1998. And there I try to answer that daily as much as I can. There's a lot of people on it. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time because there's a lot. And I try to be doing it myself personally. Bear with me on that. But I also have some announcements on there when anything new is going on. So that's helpful. And lastly, if anybody that listens to this or watches this is a Mets fan, let me know, because I have Mets season tickets. And there are times where I can't go to the games. And what I like to do is I like to give away tickets to people that are awesome. Maybe we could do a little like giveaway here, like if people share or like, or things like that, because they're awesome seats, all you can eat, killer seats, so much fun, right behind the home plate, like a few rows back. You're right by the players. It's fun. It's an experience, and it's so much fun. I post on my Instagram and Facebook when I'm there. So I'm going there today. Right. They have 2 games right now. I'm going to meet my company. So 3 guys from my company are meeting me there, and we are going to have a meeting and hang out and watch a ball game and have fun and live life to the fullest. And I expect all you guys to do the same. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm rooting for you if you're going for it. Hang in there. Keep a good mindset. Mindset is everything. It's the most important thing. Stay positive. You can do this. I believe it. I know you can. You have to believe it. So with that said, appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I'm out. Later.